What?
Get the gun! Get the gun!
Get the gun, Arnie.
We're gonna get the gun.
Everybody stay in here.
It doesn't have a tail.
Where is he? Over there. I don't see him.
Angie, get your knife.
Oh, there he is.
Not a bear, I think it might be a Bigfoot. Let me go see if I can make friends with it.
Who is that? No. Is that Jerry?
Jerry's right there. He's out there making He's the only one that can.
Oh, God. Who is that? That is awesome. Oh, gosh. Probably. Of course. Yeah, he needs to get out of the way. I'm going to have to get pictures from you.
I need all of you to move inside, please. Everyone take your seats. Take your seats. Take your seats.
I did. I thought it was Kevin.
Okay. He's got a lot of things he wants to tell us. But first, I want to introduce to you, this is Jacques Lafitte. Jacques Lafitte. And no flashes. No flashes. You can take pictures, but no flashes. Switch your camera to the other mode there, Cindy. Jacques wants you to first of all understand that it's Jacques, not Jock. He does not play sports, okay? Go ahead. There's a bunch of things he wants to tell me. We. Oh, wait a minute.
He talks more than you do, Jerry.
We.
Impossible.
We. Ah, we. Romans 1. Okay. All right. So that you understand, he is here because of the creation's great concern. It is groaning for the return of Christ, and their concern is that they don't understand how you can see and be in creation and not realize that there is a creator God from what has been made. It's just so important that you start to think as you're being told things and understand that we have an intelligent designer. Here's some examples he wants you to think about. And how did these things take place? The first thing is, as you can see, he can get burrs caught in his fur. And he's fortunate because he has hands and he can remove those burrs. But the moose and the deer, they get the burrs in their fur, and that's just a means of transporting the seeds to different locations. The deer and the moose have to bite them out. And even at that, they move some distance when they start to irritate them. But they could stay in there for months as the deer and the moose travel. Did the birds know that one day there would be animals with fur to attach themselves to? Birds, do you know that there are some seeds, like blackberries, that have to actually pass through the bird's digestive tract in order to germinate? And so did the blackberries know to produce seeds in order to be transported to different locations? You might be aware there are some fir trees, like the sequoia, that the pine cones have to go through a fire in order to germinate and grow. Did the pine trees know to produce offspring that would have to go through a fire? And that, you have to think about that even more. That could get pretty serious as you're planning on having offspring that go through a fire. Anybody ever seen a dandelion? Those things floating in the air? Did the dandelion know there would be a breeze to transport them? And Bigfoot's known all over the world, different names. And their cousins talk to each other as and you might have heard the abominable snowman and the other names across the world. Well, his relatives in Argentina have shared through relative to relative to relative that there are fish there as the berries fall out of the trees into the water. The fish eat the berries and then transport them as they swim to different locations. So he's asking you to remember we have an intelligent designer. Romans 1:20 telling us we're without excuse to not see that there is a creator God when we're in the creation. And he wants you to begin to start thinking because we've been taught, indoctrinated through our education system, through science, to not think. So, can I invite you to stay to eat? Okay, why not? Oh, we. No offense, Dee. I don't know where you're at.
I'm not here.
Okay, he would love to stay, but he has eaten some of the scraps that you've thrown over there across the way. And he says your cooking gives him really bad gas. Sasquatch gas is very, very embarrassing. He would not want to offend any of you. So I guess at this point, I think I've shared everything that you wanted me to say, and it's time to say goodbye. So. Bye, Chuck. And just like Frosty the Snowman, he'll be back again someday. Now looking back, we had great fun at Rushing Wind shooting this episode. There had been a rehearsal during the 6-day Sportsman event with only about 6 people knowing that Bigfoot was going to be making an appearance, which turned out to be a good thing because it allowed us to work some of the bugs out before we did the actual shoot. And now we shot what you're seeing with the next group. Again, only a few people knew what was about to happen. Now this took place during one of the couple's fishing retreats in June of 2015. Now I want you to understand that we at God's Great Outdoors are not saying that Bigfoot actually exists, but many people believe that they are real or are at least a possibility, and some spend time looking for them even though there is no fossil evidence or any forensic proof of their existence. And yet people will deny that there is a Jesus despite the fact he is a historical figure, and we know from history that 10 of his disciples died terrible deaths, but they still refused to say anything negative towards him that would dismiss the Bible's claims of who Jesus is. God's word in Colossians 1:15-17 tells us, "The Son is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. For in him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities, all things have been created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together." We hope that you will think about the many different delivery systems in relation to just how seeds are spread, and consider the idea, the engineering marvel, that they clearly reflect an intelligent designer.